Hey guys, this is a big one. I'm listening to Brene Brown at the moment. Brene Brown. The book that I'm listening to is called Dare to Lead. If you haven't ever listened to Brene Brown, go get a book of hers right now on audiobooks. I recommend audiobooks. She reads them. She puts a lot of her own-ness into them. So the one I'm listening to at the moment, and well, most of her books do touch a lot around shame and vulnerability, empathy, sympathy, the difference between a few of these things, and also how to identify and talk about emotions. I'm journaling right now, and today in her book, she was talking about shame. And I've never done much work around identifying emotions, identifying what I'm feeling, understanding what it's called that I'm feeling, and then learning about the thing that can heal that. So today she was talking about shame and empathy, and how empathy is the cure to shame. And so again, I haven't ever really been able to identify shame in my life before, feelings of shame. But she says there is no one that doesn't have some kind of shame, whether they have been shamed by somebody and made to feel shame, or whether it's an internal voice and they're shaming themselves. So just now, as I'm in a space of realizing something that I've been asking for. So for years I've been asking to soften. I've spent a lot of my life, and those that know me well know that I have had a protective shield up. And I had it up in many kinds of different ways. And, you know, one of the manifestations of that was my creation of what I perceived as a very strong masculine energy. I'm an Aries. I am quite a masculine woman, quite powerful, quite directional, and so it was very easy for me to go, I'm like masculine, I'm just going to get shit done, I'm going to have all these businesses, I'm going to run a farm, I'm going to work 80 hours a week, and I won't ever really feel my emotions. If I ever felt something, I'd talk about it a lot, and I would wear it outside of myself a lot, like I was wearing this protective shield. And I moved away from, I became very aware of this about 2 years ago, maybe longer. You know, it's been a process of this unraveling, but I very specifically asked to soften and to be able to connect to my more feminine side, knowing that there was magic in there that I wanted to access. So I moved away from farming and made some big lifestyle shifts, knowing that I needed my external environment to help me anchor this in and come into touch with my inner world. And really the last few years have been a lot about this work. And do you know what? It's not, for me, I found it's not about like sitting down and doing the work. It's about asking for it lightly and then showing up however you need to show up. So it might look like, you know, setting the intention. Okay, I want to dismantle this shield that I have, and I want to be able to feel my body more. I want to be able to feel my emotions more, and I want to feel like I can more genuinely connect with people on a level of intimacy that I have been closing off to a bit. So there's something going on in my life right now which is not that big of a deal. It's to do around relationships, to do around relating, and it's confusing me. Like, I'm so confused about it. and it's been on my mind a lot, and I haven't been able to get to sleep unless I journal, things like that. Like, it's something big, and I haven't known where to place it or what to do with it. I want to reach out again, you know, my thing where I want to reach out and I want to externalize it and talk about it and do something about it, which is what I've always done. I'm impatient, very impatient and very doughy. But just now, I sat down and I started writing, and I started just writing. And you've all heard how amazing journaling is, and I know how easy it is to forget how amazing journaling is. But I just sat down and journaled. And the biggest thing that came up was this. This is the bravest thing is to ask to become soft. Because asking to be soft and learning the ways of softness is one of the bravest things that we can do. Never did I realize that the space of softness would need far more bravery than the brave face that I've been wearing for years. And the bravery isn't on the outside, because I'm brave on the outside, you know? I can do all the brave things. People see that. You know, you probably have seen, like, I'll do things, I'll show up, I'll talk about vulnerable topics, I'll just get up and I'll travel, I'll start a new business, I'll put myself out there. I'm able to do these external things very well. I think I'm very brave like that. But the real work, the real bravery, at least for me, and maybe we all have different lessons and different ways to learn things, but for me, bravery looks like actually sitting still and feeling what it is that my mind can't figure out. My mind can't figure it out, it turns me into a bit of a spin. So if I go in and I feel, and I've spoken about this before a bit, if I just start with bodily sensations, or now that I'm learning more about how to name emotions, like shame, and what came up for me is shame around my relationships a bit, and the counter for that is empathy. Shame can't live where there is empathy, and learning then how to talk to myself as if I was talking to somebody that I love. And it just happened. It just happened, the most beautiful thing, where I just identified shame and I gave myself empathy, spoke to myself as if I was somebody that I loved, like my sister. And then my shame feelings turned to pride for myself and in myself, and I am proud. I am proud may not be the right word, and this is it, finding the right words for the right thing. I feel deeply grateful for the universe for lining up exactly what I need at exactly the right time to get me where I asked to go. I did that. I created that. And that's pretty freaking cool. Thanks for listening.